2 years. That's how long I'd been with her. 2 years of what I thought was building toward something permanent. We moved in together after the first year. We split responsibilities. I handled the rent. The apartment was technically in her sister's name, some arrangement they had before I came into the picture. She worked part-time at a boutique downtown and brought in enough for groceries and her personal stuff. It worked, or so I thought. On Friday evening, I got home from work around 6. She was on the couch, scrolling through her phone like usual. I grabbed a water from the fridge and sat down next to her. "So, your brother's birthday party is tomorrow, right? What time should we head out?" I asked. She didn't look up. "Oh, actually you're not invited to that." I waited for the punchline. There wasn't one. "What do you mean I'm not invited?" I said. She glanced at me, casual as ever. "It's just family. You know how it is." She shifted, uncomfortable. "My family thinks you're lesser than my ex. They don't want awkwardness at the party, and honestly, neither do I." Those words hung between us. Lesser than your ex? Her ex was a guy she dated for 3 years before me. A finance bro who made decent money and drove a nice car. They broke up 2 years ago, right before she met me. She hardly ever talked about him, but her family brought him up constantly at first. Remember when Connor did this? Connor was so good at that. Let it slide because I figured it would fade. Clearly, it hadn't. "Lesser than your ex," I repeated, keeping my tone even. "Yeah, they still really liked him." "You know how families can be," she said, like she was explaining why people prefer chocolate over vanilla. "And you? What do you think?" I asked. She looked back down at her phone. "I just don't want to deal with the questions and comments all night. It's easier if you don't come." I stood up and walked to the bedroom. "Don't be mad," she called after me. "It's just one party." I wasn't mad. Anger would have meant I cared what she thought. What I felt was clarity. I grabbed my gym bag from the closet and started filling it with clothes. Not everything, just enough for a few days. Toiletries, my laptop charger, the important documents in the desk drawer. She appeared in the doorway 20 minutes later, makeup half done. "What are you doing?" "Packing for what?" "Leaving." She actually laughed. "You're seriously going to throw a fit over not going to one party?" I zipped the bag and faced her. "I'm not throwing a fit. You made your position clear. I understand it." "My position?" She said. "What are you talking about? You just told me your family thinks I'm beneath your ex. And instead of defending me or telling them they're wrong, you agreed. You don't want me there because you're embarrassed." She stopped herself. Couldn't finish the denial? "Understood," I said, and pushed past her toward the door. "Wait, where are you going?" She asked. "Does it matter?" "You can't just leave because you're upset," she followed, voice high. "I'm not upset. I just finally see what this is. What I am to you." She crossed her arms. "And what's that supposed to mean?" "Have fun at the party tomorrow." "Tell Connor I said hi." Her face went pale. "That's not fair. Neither is spending 2 years with someone who sees you as a downgrade," I said. I walked out. She didn't follow. My phone buzzed twice before I reached my car. Both texts from her. "You're overreacting. We'll talk when you calm down." I didn't respond. I drove to my buddy Ree's place across town, reopened the door in sweatpants, beer in hand, confused at the unexpected visit. "What happened?" "I need a place to crash for a bit," I said. He stepped aside and let me in. I dropped the bag by his couch and finally let out the breath I'd been holding. Tomorrow, while she was at that party, I'd go back for the rest of my stuff. Tonight, I just needed to be anywhere but there. My phone buzzed again. Another text. "Can you at least tell me when you're coming back?" I turned the phone face down on Ree's coffee table and didn't look at it again. Saturday morning. Ree made coffee while I explained everything. He listened without interrupting and then said exactly what I needed to hear. "So when are we getting your stuff?" "Today, while she's at the party." He nodded. "I'll grab my truck." The party started at 2. She texted me 4 more times overnight. "When are you back? We need to talk. You're being childish, whatever." I didn't respond. At noon, Ree and I pulled up to the apartment building. Her car was still in the lot. Through the window, I could see her moving around, getting ready. She always took forever. At 1:45, she emerged in a dress I'd never seen before. Red, fitted, expensive looking. Definitely not boutique paychecks. She drove off at 2. I waited 5 more minutes, and then we headed up. The apartment felt different, knowing I was leaving it for good. I'd lived there for over a year, but none of it had ever really been mine. Most of the furniture belonged to her or her sister. I packed what I owned: clothes, electronics, a few books. The practical stuff RY carried: the laptop, external hard drive, and the gaming headset. The TV and coffee table stayed. I left the makeup mountain on the counter. I took my 10% of the bathroom space and left the rest. Kitchen, one nice knife, mixing bowls. The coffee maker my parents gave me for Christmas. 40 minutes later, 3 trips to the truck, and everything I owned was condensed into garbage bags and boxes. 2 years packed into a truck bed. I did one final walkthrough. Nothing left behind I'd miss. The apartment key sat in my pocket. I placed it on the kitchen counter right in the center where she'd see it immediately. No note. No explanation. She already knew why. Re-waited by the truck. That's it? You good? I looked up at the apartment one last time. Yeah, I'm good. He drove back to his place. My phone stayed silent the whole ride. She was probably having a great time at the party, surrounded by family who approved of her, maybe even getting attention from Connor. At Ree's, we hauled everything into a spare room. It was small, but it had a bed and a window, more than enough. How long you planning to stay? Ari asked. Just until I find my own place. A few weeks, maybe a month. Take your time, man. No rush. I sat on the edge of the bed and checked my phone. Still nothing. The party would go until at least 7 or 8, maybe later. She wouldn't discover the empty apartment until tonight. Ree brought 2 beers into the room. Want to grab food? Get your mind off it? Yeah, that sounds good. We hit a sports bar, watched a game, and didn't talk about her. It felt normal. Easy. I realized I hadn't felt this relaxed in months. No tension. No walking on eggshells. No wondering what comment would set her off. Around 8:30, my phone buzzed. 12 missed calls in 10 minutes. Then a flood of texts. Where are all your things? Did you seriously move out while I was gone? We need to talk right now. This is insane. I put the phone back in my pocket and focused on the game. Ree noticed, but didn't say anything. Around 9, a different name popped up. Her sister Hillary, I answered. Yeah. What the hell did you do? Hillary's voice was sharp. You moved out? You can't just move out. The lease is in my name. I have no legal obligation to that apartment, I said. I was paying rent as a courtesy because I was dating your sister. I'm not dating her anymore, so I'm done paying. Silence, then. That's between you and her. Not my problem. It's more text from my ex. You're being ridiculous. Over one comment. I typed one response and sent it. You meant it exactly like you said it. Enjoy the party. Then I blocked her number. RY raised his beer. 2 new beginnings, he said. I clinked my bottle against his. To new beginnings. My phone buzzed one more time. Hillary again. I declined the call and turned off the ringer. Whatever panic was happening at that apartment wasn't my problem anymore. I'd spent 2 years being convenient, useful, enough to keep around, but not enough to respect. That version of me was done. Sunday morning, I woke up feeling lighter than I had in months. Ree was already up making breakfast. I unblocked her number before bed. Not to respond, but to see what else would come through. 23 messages. Most from her, a few from Hillary, and one from a number I didn't recognize. Her messages read like this. You can't just throw away 2 years over nothing. I'm sorry. Is that what you want to hear? This is so unfair. At least tell me where you're staying. We need to figure out the apartment situation. Hillary's were blunt. You're putting her in a bad position. She needs to know if you're paying your half this month. Be an adult about this. The unknown number left a voicemail. Hi, this is Anna. I'm her mother. I'm trying to understand what happened. She's very upset, and I'm confused. Could you please call me back? Thank you. He glanced over. You going to call her back? Might as well get it over with. I dialed while the coffee was still hot. Anna answered on the second ring. Her voice was the kind of polite that comes from years of junior league meetings. I'm just trying to understand what's going on, she said. She came home last night and said all your things were gone. She's devastated. Did she tell you why you left? I kept my tone neutral and factual. I asked Anna about the party. She confirmed my story. My family liked Connor better, Anna said. Maybe not to my face, but yes. They liked him. I told her what I felt. She made her position clear. She's embarrassed by me compared to her ex. That's fine. She's entitled to feel however she wants. But I'm not going to stick around and be someone's backup plan, Anna asked quietly. Are you still planning to pay your portion? No, I said. The lease is in Hillary's name. I have no legal obligation. I was paying because I was with your daughter. I'm not with her anymore. That seems harsh, she said. What's harsh is spending 2 years with someone who sees you as a downgrade in a wallet, I replied. There was movement on her end. Voices in the background. I said what I needed to say. I deserve someone who actually wants me, not someone who tolerates me while waiting for something better. I hung up before she could respond. Rhys slid a plate of pancakes in front of me. Sounds fun, he said. Her mom's in denial, trying to defend her. They always do. What now? He asked. Now I eat breakfast and start looking for apartments. Hillary called. She wanted me to pay. I didn't. Her mother texted later. She's crying. She says she didn't mean it the way it sounded. Please, just talk to her. I stared at the message and typed back. She meant exactly what she said. She just didn't expect consequences. Then I muted the conversation and went apartment hunting. I wasn't cruel. I wasn't vengeful. I was done being second choice. Monday at work, I kept my phone on silent. More messages, more calls, more people trying to convince me I was overreacting. By lunch, I had 17 unread texts. I deleted them and focused on my shift. Busy was good. At 2:30, Corey from receiving came up to my station. There's someone at the front asking for you. Says it's urgent. I knew before I walked to the lobby who it would be. She stood there in jeans and a sweater, arms crossed, looking impatient. We need to talk, she said. I'm at work, I said. I don't care. You've been ignoring me for 2 days? Few coworkers watched. I'm not doing this here, I said quietly. We walked to the parking lot. This is insane, she started. You moved out over one comment I made. You told me your family thinks I'm inferior to your ex, and you agreed with them, I said. I never said I agreed. You didn't have to, I replied. You made it clear you didn't want me there because it would be awkward. She ran her hand through her hair. You're twisting everything, am I? I said. I just don't want to deal with the questions. Is that so bad? What about the apartment? She asked. Hillary says you're not paying anymore. I'm not, I said. Then she shouted, You can't just do that. The rent is due Friday, and you should figure out how to pay it, I said. Find a roommate. Move home. Ask Connor if he has a spare room. She looked stunned. Why do you keep bringing him up? Because this whole thing is about him, I said. You wore a red dress like it was a date, not a family party. You spent 3 hours getting ready. I found photos of him in a box under the bed. I saw the route history on your phone. You drove past his house on Tuesdays and Thursdays. You light up when someone mentions him. You used me to make him jealous. You used me to fill a space, she said. I do care about you. Maybe, I said, but you care about him more. I'm done being the runner-up. Her phone buzzed. She glanced down, softened, and typed something quickly. Who was that? I asked. None of your business, she said. I guessed Connor. She didn't deny it. I laughed. She'd come to my work to beg me to stay and pay the rent, and she was texting him mid-conversation. We're done, I said. Lose my number. Figure out the rent. I'm done. I walked back inside before she could respond. through the glass door as I watched her stand there for a minute, phone in hand, probably texting Connor about how unreasonable I was being. Then she drove off. Corey caught up with me on the way back. "Everything okay, man?" he asked. "Yeah," I said. "Just an ex who can't accept that we're done." The rest of my shift passed without incident. After I clocked out, I had 3 new texts. I didn't mean for it to come out like that. "Can we please discuss this like adults? I need to know about the rent by Wednesday." I blocked her number and drove back to Ree's. He was on the couch watching baseball. She showed up at work. Tried to guilt me about the apartment. Kept saying I was being unfair, I said. Oh, and she was texting Connor while trying to convince me to stay. Ree's eyebrows shot up. "You dodged a bullet, man." My phone rang. Unknown number. I declined. It rang again. Same number. I declined again. A text from Anna. "Please just hear her out. She's struggling." I turned my phone off and grabbed a beer. Another, Ree asked. "Her mother wants me to hear her out." They never give up, do they? By Wednesday, she'd tried calling from 6 different numbers. Friends recruited to help. I didn't answer. Ree and I had looked at 3 apartments Tuesday night and put a deposit on a small, 1-bedroom, about 15 minutes from work. Older building. Nothing fancy. Clean and affordable. I'd move in the following week. Thursday evening, I got home to find her sitting on the steps outside Ree's building. "How did you know I was staying here?" I asked. "I called your friend Dallas," she said. He told me. "Dallas should have known better," I said. "You need to leave," she said. "I just want to talk." 5 minutes. 5 minutes. We walked to a bench near the parking lot. She sat close. I kept distance. "I talked to Connor," she started. "Of course she did. He's back with his ex. They got engaged last month." She paused. "I thought maybe if he saw me happy with someone, he'd realize he made a mistake. Come running back. So you used me to make him jealous," I said. "No," she stopped herself. "Maybe at first. But I actually started caring about you." "When?" I asked. "Before or after you realized I paid most of the rent? Before or after you found another guy to cover things?" She couldn't answer. "You admitted you used me," I said. "Then you cried now and begged me to stay. Why should I believe you won't go back to being second choice the moment someone better comes along?" She said she'd change. "For how long?" I asked. "Until the next guy comes along who your family approves of." She looked deflated. "I do miss you." "You miss the rent being paid," I said. "You miss having someone around so you don't look pathetic for still being hung up on your ex." "Stop putting words in my mouth. I'm just saying what you're too scared to admit." She stood up angry. "You know what? Fine. You want the truth?" "Yes, I used you at first. Yes, I thought Connor might notice. But I did care about you." "Care is past tense," I said. "You said cared, not care." She ripped into me. "You're being a stubborn by refusing to try." "Try what?" I asked. "Try to be enough for someone who measures me against her ex every single day." "No thanks." She burst into anger and left. "You'll regret this," she called. "Doubt it," I replied. Ree came out with 2 beers. She admitted she used you to make Connor jealous and can't afford the apartment without you. I'd say we're at peak honesty. "Damn," he said and handed me a beer. "You good?" "Yeah, I felt better knowing I'd been right. Not paranoid. Not imagining things." She actually admitted it. Anna texted. "She's devastated. Moving back home this weekend? I hope you're happy." I deleted the message. Tomorrow I'd sign the lease on my new place. Saturday, I'd move what little I had from Ree's spare room to my own apartment. I'd do it without thinking about her or Connor or the 2 years I'd spent being someone's backup plan. 3 weeks later, I was settled into my new place. Small. Quiet. Mine. No shared rent. No walking on eggshells. No wondering if I measured up to someone's ex. Ree helped me move in and brought beer and pizza. "How's it feel?" he asked. "Good. Really good." I'd blocked everyone connected to her, her family, her friends. Even Dallas after he tried to play mediator 1 too many times. My phone stayed quiet. Peace settled in. I picked up overtime, saved money, and started thinking about what I actually wanted instead of what someone else needed from me. One Saturday morning, I ran into Hillary at the grocery store. She moved back home, she said. She's struggling, she added. This really messed her up. Not my problem, I said. You made your choices. I made mine. Hillary warned me she was telling everyone I abandoned her. Let her tell whatever story makes her feel better, I said. The people who matter know the truth. Connor got married last week, she said. She didn't take it well. Again, not my problem anymore. At the checkout, my phone buzzed. Unknown number. I almost declined, then answered. It was her. Don't hang up, she said. What do you want? I asked. I wanted to say I'm sorry for everything. You were right about all of it, she said. I used you. I wasn't over Connor. I took you for granted. I messed up. Okay, I said. That's it. It's just okay. What do you want me to say? That I forgive you? That we can try again? No. I just wanted you to know I understand now. Good. I hope that helps you do better next time. There won't be a next time. Not for a while anyway. Are you happy? She asked quietly. I looked around my new apartment. I thought about the peace I'd felt these past weeks. The absence of constant anxiety and comparison. Yeah, I said. I am good. You deserve it. So do you. Eventually. Goodbye. She said goodbye. I hung up and finished putting groceries away. My phone stayed quiet after that. No more calls, no more texts, no more drama. Just me, my apartment, and the freedom of not being someone's backup plan. That was enough. Our story has come to an end. If you made it this far, how about subscribing to our channel? It helps us immensely. I've selected 2 other videos for you that I'm sure you'll enjoy. Feel free to click on them. I'll be waiting for you in the next story. See you soon.